Hi guys, it's Allie with Chaos Monkey, and I just wanted to show you a finish. So I finished one of the monthly kits that I get, and I finished the Kelleys Knit Club Norwegian Lilac Fields hat, and I did it, this was the June kit, so I just had to check on the month because they're all kind of blurring together, especially when we got a whole bunch late. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. This was out of the alpaca. I'll show you the yarn label and how much I had left and all of that good stuff. And I'll try to remember to link to the actual unboxing video if you're interested in the club. I'm not affiliated with Kelly. It is from Alpaca Direct. And she is actually relatively close to where I live. But hold on, let me get the item. Okay. So, this was the pattern. It was a very easy to follow pattern. There were no issues. I think the only errata was that they had to adjust the stitch count, like by 2 stitches on the beginning of the round. I think they were off somewhere. But she does give you all the updates on the site. If you are in the club, I also always forget to mention that she gives you a free shipping coupon every month if you're part of the club, and you also get a discount for buying stuff from the shop. So I always forget to kind of throw that in there. And so for June, it was the Coeur d'Alene Bravo Alpaca Petites and 100% baby alpaca, and it was in these 2 colors, which I believe just had color numbers, right? Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. Let me see if I have my labels. But I have 1 ball left, obviously. And then here's my labels from the other 2 balls. They were 109 yards, 50 grams, and it looks like they only have color numbers, which one was in color C835, and one was in CQ70. So it looks like the light purple was the 7Q30, and the darker purple was the C835. And I do have some scraps, but I do have 1 whole ball left. And then these were my leftovers. So there was the dark purple and the light purple. So these were my leftovers. So definitely enough to make something out of it. And here is the hat. And this was the, if you can see on the picture, the colorwork hat. They had a different brim. I did a completely different brim. So they did, I believe, what was it? The Latvian braid, and they did it like 5 times. I did like a Baltic braid down here at the bottom. So I did a 2-color rib with a Baltic braid because I'd done that before in previous hats, and I just liked the look better. So I did change that. So this had a bigger stitch count, which I was okay with because their stitch count I was a little hesitant on. It didn't seem like enough for a hat. So yeah, they were only using 104, I think, after the correction. I think it said 102 in the pattern, but it was a mistake. It was 104 for cast on. To me, that seems small for an adult size hat. But I don't work with baby alpacas, so I didn't know if maybe it was an baby alpaca thing, that maybe they needed to, you know, cast on less because we had more stretch. But anyway, I did like 120 here, and it fits perfectly. So, I don't know. You follow the pattern, and maybe it'll come out more snug, because I've noticed that this alpaca, I mean, I have used alpaca, but I don't think I've used it in a hat, and maybe I just have it in stash, or maybe I never used 100% alpaca. I think it was a blend. This is 100% baby alpaca, and you can see the drape. You can see how drapey this is. So, you know, maybe they do that smaller stitch count just because it's such a, you know, a lanky yarn. It doesn't have a ton of bounce like wool, but it is extremely soft extremely drapey. I mean, it's going to be warm as all heck, I can tell you that. So that's my impression of like making something with 100% baby alpaca. Is I would definitely suggest it. You know, if you buy it for yourself, it's unbelievably soft. I do know some people can have a reaction to alpaca, just like people have reactions to wool, but I don't. I absolutely do not have a reaction to, like, wool will be itchy to me sometimes, but this is not itchy to me. So it depends on the person, depends on how, you know, you react to the fiber, but it is so soft. Let me show you. I guess we could kind of rotate, show you my color work, huh? I'm not the best at color work. I'm practicing, I'm getting better, but you can see my work. And then if you want to see the top of the hat, so, and then it's just it repeats like 3 times all the way around. So you just get this big star pattern with the little squares, and you get all that good stuff. So, but this hat, the brim width fits fine. It's probably a little loose, so maybe when they went with their count, it gives you a much more snug fit. If you haven't made it yet and you're in the club, and you've worked with baby alpaca, you probably know to like stay on that lower end on this cast on stitch count. Me, I had to have a bigger for the Latvian, and just because I thought this would be too small for an average head, but it looks like it's probably fits just right, you know, with just a firm fit. Now I did hit gauge, and I did use the needles they suggested. They suggested size 6 and size 5, and they actually did 5 for the brim and 6 for the hat, I believe, which is what you normally do. You normally go down a needle size for the brim, so you get more of that stretch. No, they actually used a 6 on the brim, and I believe they went to a 5 on the hat. I'm trying to double check so I don't give you the wrong info. But I think I did a 5 on the brim and a 6 on the hat, only because I know my color work, I tend to pull way too tight. So I did go up on the needle size, because even though I try to loosen up, I don't on color work, and I think it helped. And I did hit gauge. However, it did make my hat bigger. It absolutely did. So if you want a tighter fitting hat, you might want to stay with the size 5 needle all the way through. It's a slouch. It fits perfect around the head, but it's really long here, probably about this far. But that's just following the pattern with gauge for me. It does look like on Kelly's version that it was maybe a little longer off the top of the head for her as well. So just to complete the pattern, it kind of makes a longer hat, which is fine. I mean, I have no problems with it. So when this is on, it fits perfectly, but mine slouches probably from about here, and it still looks really good. And I like slouchy hats, so I have no problem with that. But just be careful for you. If you want a tighter fitting hat, you may want to try it on as you go, or you might want to stick with a size 5 or a smaller needle. But honestly, with this pattern, I think you're kind of limited, unless you want to do modifications here after the pattern repeat at the top of the star, to maybe just kind of do a shorter hat here. I think it's going to come out a little longer than like a skull cap, like a real firm fitting hat. And then I'll put it on. This guy is an average size head. So let me come up a little bit. He is, I've measured him, he's the boy face, and on this cheapy styrofoam head, he has an average size head. The woman is closer to a child's head, so this is average size for an adult. I think it's like 22 inches, because I've measured it before. So let me see if I can get this on here and not have it look horrible. And as you can see, with my stitch count, with my particular cast on, it fits pretty firm. I think I did 120, and then I decreased to the 104 for the pattern up here to get the pattern done, and went up a needle size. So you might want to decrease and just stay with that size 5. if you want a smaller hat overall up here. But you can see that it fits him, and then the slouchy slouch happens here, which I really like. I really like it. And it fits me. I have more hair than he does, so it has less slouch on me, but still looks really good. And it still fits really comfortable. There's a lot of stretch with the way I did my brim. Because it's just a 2x2, it's just a 2 color, so it's just a knit 2 purl 2, and then the Baltic braid. So I think on them, because they use the Latvian braid 5 times for the rim, it might be a lot firmer of a brim too. So, you know, I just kind of made all my modifications, and if you follow the pattern, just keep in mind it's going to turn out differently. But yeah, I think I did pretty good on the color work. I didn't mess up anything. I think I missed one stitch somewhere, and all I did, I can't even remember where it's at now, you guys. All I did was do a duplicate stitch over it, so I missed one stitch. Oh, I remember, you can almost see it if I point it out here. I missed a stitch, and so I went over it with the darker color with a duplicate stitch right there. And I haven't woven in all my ends yet, so let me get him out of the way. Hope my lighting is good. I'm hoping to get a new camera pretty soon because my camera is acting up. So yeah, I really like it. I kind of left, I already washed and blocked it. I just soaked it in some warm water with some wool wash with soak, because I really like soak, and I just laid it flat to dry. I kind of just, you know, moved it around so it wouldn't get that line as it dries, which wool hats will do if you lay them flat to dry. And this actually, the alpaca it doesn't tend to do that line. It's such a soft, lanky fiber. It's much more, yeah, see? And I wish you guys could feel it if you've never worked with alpaca. It's so soft. And it does have a halo. There is a furry halo. I doubt you can see it with my current crappy lighting situation, and you're not going to see it against white, but the alpaca is unbelievably soft. It was nice to work with. It doesn't have a ton of stretch, but it's not hard to work with. It's not uncomfortable to work with. And this hat is going to be unbelievably warm, I can tell already, for winter. So it was fun. It was quick. My color work isn't my favorite thing, but I do like to do it once in a while, and I do need the practice. And that's funny for me to say because I have so much color work stuff. I have color work sweaters. I have color work, I think, mittens. No, I don't think I've done mittens. I know I've done a lot of color work. I think maybe just sweaters. I think I have 2 or 3 sweaters that are color work, hats that are color work, and then, of course, this hat. So I do like to do color work occasionally, and I do absolutely need the practice, and I do think I've improved quite a bit. If you want to see inside, I catch my floats like every 4 stitches. So if you want to see that, yeah, I'm getting better. My quality, my stretch. My problem is I usually pull too tight, and then your stitches pucker and pull in, and you can't fix that with blocking. It's very important to get your tension correct. And I think I did when I knit, I do a picking continental method, which means I hold the yarn in my right hand and I pick this way, like when I'm knitting. I'm not a thrower. I'm not using the yarn in this hand and throwing it over the needle. So I actually had 2 strands over my fingers. I hold it a certain way to separate the strands, and I just pick the color I need. But I need to be very loose on that because it's very easy to get tight, really tight when you do that. So I think I'm improving, so I'm pretty proud of myself. You also got to remember about color dominance. Whatever yarn you pick to be on the right side, you need to keep on the right side. And whatever yarn you keep on the left side, you need to keep on the left side when you do color work. If you switch it up, it will change how this looks. Most people use the lighter on the left side, I believe. The lighter yarn. I actually use the darker yarn on the left side because I wanted it to pop more than the background color. So, but whatever side you pick, just keep it there because it will change. It almost becomes shadow knitting. If you guys don't know what that is, go ahead and Google it. But it changes completely how it looks when you change the dominance. So if you guys don't know a lot about color work. And also with Kelly's club, she does videos just for the knit club. So she will walk you through how to do everything, how to do the brim, you know, how to do their Latvian braids, how to do all the color work. She gives you all the tips and tricks. So I definitely suggest it if you are a newer knitter, and because she gives you these tutorials all the way through. So, you know, if you do decide you want to make the pattern she's doing, you have support for all of it. So I do that with my patterns too. Like anytime I put out a pattern, I always try to do videos for all of it because I really want people to be able to make the item. And she does it. So you get the shipping discount, free shipping coupon once a month. You get a discount, which I can't remember the discount percent, so I don't want to give you the wrong amount. You get a % off from being in the knit club, and then you get all the tutorials and all the goodies. So far I'm really enjoying it, and I really like the club. So yeah, I love this hat. I actually want to wear it now, but it's like 90 degrees. So I'm going to have to like weave in my ends. As you can see, I haven't done my ends yet. I blocked it first because I was afraid I was going to have to rip it out because I wanted to block it and try it on after blocking. And it does get a little scary because this yarn will really, really drape when wet. It's one of those yarns that stretch out when wet big time. And you're like, please bounce back, please bounce back. And it totally does. When it's dry, it just bounces right back. It just takes a little longer and it looks a little super drapey compared to a wool. So you get that whole, you know. But no, it bounces back beautifully after a soak. And so then I tried it on and I love the fit. So that's the only reason why I didn't weave the ends in yet, because I was afraid I was going to have to rip it out and go down a needle size and retry it, and I actually like the slouch. And I like the slouch better than if I had just like extra at the top like this. I like them either form-fitting or slouch. I don't like the in-betweeny look. So if you do, that would be perfect for you, or if you stay on that smaller needle, you might be able to get a tighter fit, especially if you have a bigger head. But you may want to watch the brim. You might want to cast the brim on and try it on if you do have a big head, because I have a feeling that these 5 rows of Latvian aren't going to be really stretchy, and that would be my only tips and tricks. And I'm sure I don't watch the videos, but I'm sure if you do, she's going to give you so many tips. I kind of skimmed a few just to see, and yeah, definitely. And if there's anything in the future I don't know how to do, of course I'm going to watch the video too. So, but yeah, and then she gives you plenty of yarn. I made a big hat, bigger than her hat, with a big slouch, you know, a good size slouch, and I still had all of this left over. So, I'm not sure. It's 109 yards, and then whatever these are. So I'm sure you could make like a baby hat, some baby items of some kind, smaller scale items, or you could just buy more yarn, because I've got those discounts through her and a free shipping. I could, you know, maybe buy some other colors and do like a different color work hat, add to these, that kind of thing. So, but the point is, she gives you plenty of yarn for the project, you know. And baby alpaca is on the spendy side. I think when I priced it on my unboxing video, it was like $11 a ball, and we had 3 balls, plus a pattern, plus the tutorials, plus all the goodies, like, and the discounts. And so far I'm really thinking it's worth it. I'm really enjoying it. So, and you guys wanted to see my finish, so here it is, and I can't wear it. But that's okay, I expected it. It's definitely going to be, since it's washed, I'm going to go ahead. I can't stop touching it, you guys. I always touch my wools, but this is so soft. I wish you could feel it. I wish we had feel-o-vision. But I'm going to weave in my ends and put it away for the summer, and put it with my other woolies, and then it'll be a surprise in the winter, because you know how we make so much stuff we forget. And I'll unpack it in the winter, and I'll be, oh yay! It'll be a surprise. So I love making stuff off-season, because that way it's totally ready for the season. It's like that mixed thing where you want to make the cozy stuff in the cold times, but unless it's a small project, you know what I mean, you don't really get to enjoy it during the season until the following year. I usually do all my sweaters in the winter, and I don't really get to wear them very much until, you know, until the following year. Or sometimes I love my sweaters so much after all the work I put in, especially if it's got cable work or color work, I won't wear it. I'll just wash and block it and get it ready for next year because I don't want to start wearing it out yet because I love it so much. So you need like that whole season to like be, oh yeah, I'm going to throw that on and wear it every day because you're not as attached to the work. I don't know if you guys do that. Tell me if you do that. Put stuff away until you're like, heck yeah, I'm going to wear it. But you're so precious in the beginning. You're like, no, I want it pristine. I'm going to keep it pristine for a whole season. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. So anyway, this is something I would throw on right away and wear all season. It's just, yeah, I really like baby alpaca. I really do. I don't know if I would make a garment out of 100%. Rambled on long enough. I totally rambled and I ran out of memory, so I'm just going to go ahead and say goodbye. Okay, I love you all. I will see you later. Bye.